Hi friends, it's Pat Sloan here. So I have another one of my t-shirts on. This is the original Sloan Zone, and it is a t-shirt, so I've got like a little sweatshirt on because it's too chilly to be in short sleeves, but it comes with longer sleeves and sweatshirts and stuff like that and other colors. But I wanted to show it to you because if you're just joining in for this month or haven't watched my videos for several days, all of December, my royalties for these t-shirts is going to the World Central Kitchen. So I'm using this as a fundraiser because World Central Kitchen is an organization that was started in 2010, so about 15 years ago, by Jose Andre, who is a restaurateur and owns restaurants here kind of in my Washington, D.C. area and around. And he decided that when there was an earthquake in Haiti that he would need to help. He needed to help. And one of the things he does, he's a chef, so he cooks. So he has put together this tremendous organization that goes in for disaster relief. They come in and they feed people. They bring everything with them. They bring the water, they bring the fuel, they bring the food, the cooking devices, the people. They bring people in to cook for the ones who are there that are affected by the disaster and the people who are first responders and then other volunteers. He comes in and feeds people. And their organization is now quite large over the 15 years, and they service disasters across the world, and at times multiple disasters at once, like many of these groups do. I mean, disasters don't just happen one at a time, do they? Anyway, he came into Asheville, where my brother lives, when they had the floods, and my brother was quite impressed with their organization, and so I decided that I just wanted to do this in December as another way to help and give back to somebody in an organization that does really good work. So if you buy anything of my items, doesn't have to have my name on it, just needs to be on my store page over at Katie Spain. My friend Kate runs it. She designs them for me. Excellent, right? So all of my royalties go, and so far we have raised about $1,000 since the first of the year. I mean, since the first of the month, since the 1st of December. Yay! Thank you so much. All right, today is, okay, it's Tackle It Tuesday, and I have tackled a big one. The Bee Haven was basically my Tackle It Tuesday. I know, it's the end of a quilt along, so it doesn't really count, does it? But I'm counting it because that's just how my brain works right now. And also I have a little bit of mail, and I want to tell you about a secret project because I'm not going to be able to talk about it again for like a year, maybe less than a year. But I'm going to tell you about what I've been working on. So first, in the mail, my sweet friend Kathy sent me, look at this cute card, and she found vintage needle books. These. Look at this. Look how sweet they are. I just love this kind of stuff. Like the vintage needles, right? Do you have one of these? If you do, tell me about it in the comments here at YouTube. If you collect vintage things like this, vintage sewing things, yeah, I think that'd be super cute. And then our friend Kara, she goes by Kara Quilts. She lives in Germany, and she sent me this little card from Germany and some goodies from Germany. Now, I haven't lived in Germany for many years. In the early 70s is when I lived there. So, these are all new candies for me. And so these are nuts. So I'm really excited to try these. But she also, which I've already opened and tried, she sent me a little variety pack of the Liebkuchen, which is those sort of gingerbready cookies. And so they're open. We tasted them. So good. Thank you. Kara. And then Kara sent me mushroom fabric. Look how cute that is. Is up right side up? Well, it's tossed, so it's right and up and down. Look how cute that is. And she said she thought I might need some Stonehenge fabric. I love it. I missed this one somehow. Oh my goodness. This is great. It's Stonehenge fabric. You just never know what you might need. You know, you're working on stuff, right? And you just might need a little Stonehenge fabric. And I'll have it. Just like I needed the clock fabric the other day. It's like, several people sent me clock face fabric, which, by the way, you see it over there? It's still hanging up. So it will get done. All right, let's look at Bee Haven first. Let me show. I have a little walkthrough of getting to the point where the top and the backing are done. Let's look at that first. First thing is to be absolutely certain that I like the positions of these 5, you know, that's working for me. These are kind of have a strong, this direction, that has a little bit strong yellow that way, strong yellow this way. So, I don't know, maybe I'll flip that one. Let me try that. It's flipped, but you know, it's because that yellow is so short, I'm gonna leave it like that. I think that's good. The next thing is to double check. Do I have dark, the bluish, and then the purple? Okay, and then I've got the purples and the yellow strip and the aqua. Okay, everything's right. And then down here is the gorgeous coneflower. So, you know, you just want to check all that. Now I will sew this, being super, super careful that I don't rotate anything, because I don't want to undo it. All right, let's go. I could leave these up on the wall and then just come and, you know, kind of rotate up here, pull them down, but I am instead, I wish I could put all 6 of them, but I'm going to do these 4 and then put the other 2. Then that way, I don't want to rotate or shift anything, so I'm like really trying to concentrate, be sure I don't do that. It's so easy to pick it up and then just all of a sudden your hand just picks it up here and puts it down like that, right? And then, you know, it's going the wrong direction. We do not want it like that. No, 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 no. Okay. All right, just showing you how I'm doing it. I went ahead and sewed those 6 together. So now I'll just do 1, 2, 3, and everything is still the right place, and then sew them in. Then we'll come over here to the sashing. Well, it's the inner border, like inner border and then the outer borders. All 9 blocks are sewn, and this is the inner border. And it's wide, which I like. I like that. It's kind of a nice break. So I will put all the inner borders, and I think I'll just go ahead and put the top and bottom. Pull back. Put the inner borders and then the top and bottom, and then show you again before I put the sides on. Now the fabric is somewhat directional. I mean, the pieces are tossed like the little flowers, but what I'm looking at is, does this look like to me the right side up, you know, or if I turn it. See, this one I feel like for this particular cut across, this looks upside down. And so I want to, on both the bottom and top, check that. So at least I have those 2 sides. Now I did not cut it the other direction for the sides. So the sides are also going to be, they'll be more like angled. But top and bottom's a little bit easier. So I'm just checking that. So this is how it looks where I have the top and bottom on, but the sides haven't been put on yet. So I have to figure out like where I'll be trimming the selvage off right even, and then I just kicked the heater with my foot and it turned on. Hold on. Makes too much noise. So what I notice is that this yellow is not going to line up right there. If I did want it to line up right there, like perfect, I could add a bit to the top, you know, to shift it. And you'll see on the pattern that she has like 2 repeats of this, and the top repeat is like this. And this is the most efficient use of the fabric to create the design. If you want to add a little light blue strip at the top to lower it, you know, a 1/2 inch, you could do that. I'm not going to bother. I like it. It kind of looks like rolling hill, like it's coming down, coming up. And so I don't mind that effect. So just to point that out, that yes, I see it, and that is how it is. So you can decide how you want to handle yours. And then after that, well, I'm going to build the backing with that strip. For the side borders, I'm first measuring my sides, so I will cut them, you know, those side borders to the sides rather than putting it on and trimming it off, because often that makes your quilt out of whack. You might have one corner actually like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch longer. So take the time to measure it and then cut. And then the other thing I'm doing, where is it? I decided that for the top, that's the bottom. The dark teal is at the bottom, the light purple, bluey purple's at the top. I'm leaving just a little bit of the selvage here because that'll go under the binding. And that just gives me that little bit of more where it extends down and makes the yellow like a little less of the hill, but it's still going to be a hill. Like, unless you add like a 1/2 inch or, you know, maybe an inch up here, it won't match exactly. So there we go. That's how I'm doing it, because I actually like that sort of rolling hill effect. Okay, measuring. This is all that I've trimmed from the sides. So this is the most efficient way to use this fabric. This was at the top. Remember, I cut it left just a little smidgen, and then here's at the bottom. So that's it. And then the borders are the rest of it. The rest of the cut goes right onto the quilt. There it is. Ah, looks so good. It's so adorable. I keep being worried that I've got something switched that shouldn't be. Like switched the wrong way. I keep looking thinking, no, it's okay, it's okay. Oh, it looks so good. All right, I'm going to cut this strip, add part to the top and bottom, something to each side, and backing will be done. I'm going to build this strip kind of as I go. I thought, you know, I've got these extra sections that were, you know, from cutting the blocks, and then I had some, you know, left over. So I'm going to put this on the bottom and the top, and then cut a piece from these leftovers for the top. Well, that's the bottom and the top. And then I will take this again on either side, and then probably use more of this for the two sides to build it out. Here's this strip in progress. I'm going to quilt this myself, so my backing won't be quite as big around extra, because I don't need it since I'm quilting it myself. And I'll need to cut it, you know, I have to sew these together. I'll need to cut another one of those. But it's cute. And then that can go, I'll probably just off center it like this, and then use the panel on either side for the backing. Yeah. There's the backing so far. I did a 10-inch strip cut it 10 inches here because that's how wide the extra pieces were, but this is all I had extra that I had to add, 5-inch piece up here. So what I'll do is on this panel, which will be like 32 or something, I will start it at the bottom just like this, and I left like the selvage because that will be, you know, trimmed away when I trim the quilt after it's quilted, and then I'll just add a 5-inch strip from the scraps at the top because there won't be much of that showing, and I'll see. I'll probably just try to get them with that part of the fabric rather than this part as the extra strip, you know, just to kind of keep that coloration across there. So yeah, fun. Here I am working that extra strip that's going to go at the top, and I did use some here. That's the, you know, further down part, but that'll be up at the top. It'll be, you know, like this. So I am keeping like mostly those purple tones up at the top here, but it looks like I need about this much more. So I'll cut it from this yardage. It's not that much. And then remember, I already have the piece panel, and then the panel I already did the addition at the top. There's the backing. So I want to pick a binding, and I think in these plums. And if you've been here a while, you know I do not own a lot of purples. This is pretty much it, just here, because I just don't work with purple a lot for whatever reason. But I think I'm gonna. Why do I have such a big hunk of this? I have no idea. But look, it is right. It is right. The darker one would be nice too, and I have this, which is probably a good color. It's not quite dark enough, but I don't have that bluey. So that's also, none of it's None of it's big enough. I have a lighter kind of shade of this, but much lighter, but I like this one. So that's it. I'm going to cut some binding. Well, inside the purple was this. It's only like a half a yard, but I like that shade. That's a neat celery green. Okay, we'll just have to file that. Okay. Where are they? They're over here. Here is the top. Oh, someone asked me what size do I wear. I generally wear a large. Anything on Kate's store, I wear a large. And it depends on the manufacturer. And over the years, some manufacturers are not in the store anymore. They've not been in the system because these are print on demand. So she has to change manufacturers. But generally, they always seem to be pretty good for me to be a large. Okay, look. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. Didn't that turn out cute? Look how interesting it is. I just love it. It's so fun to do. I hope some of you had a chance to sew along with me. Okay, now the backing I had fun with. I had so much fun. So here it is. Ta-da! Oh, yeah, it's the right side up. The dark purple, yeah, and the flowers at the bottom. So there we go. And I will probably quilt this in January and just do some easy wave quilting, I think, across it, because I can control the textured pieces. Well, they're on the back here too. These textured pieces that are part of the pattern, the little flaps, the flange, the official work. So I can do that by the waves, with the wave stitch. I just take my time. And it is for, like I said, a baby in the family. One of the young couples in the family. Well, they're having baby number 3, so they know how to do this. And then here's the binding, so it's all made. Yes. And I'm just going to toss it over there. Whoops, it went on the floor. So there it is. I'll put it back up. Okay. All right. Don't forget. I'm going to open this maybe on Thursday. Maybe Thursday I'll open it so you can see it. So I'll let you know whether I open it. But the Jolly Boxes, there are still some if you want to order one. It is not a Christmas quilt. So it is I would call it a winter project. So there you go. All right, I wanted to just answer a couple Q&A and then I'll wrap up just telling you something, just giving you a little teeny weeny sneak peek of something coming up. So the secret project is right here in my hand. I can't show it to you yet, but I've probably spent 3 days with this fabric and this template here. And I've been filming as I went along. It's a one-of-a-kind design process for a project, and it will eventually go into a book and go on exhibit and travel around for a couple years. And so when it is public to talk about it, I won't actually have the quilt, but I'll have recorded all of this, and it'll probably be almost a full show just talking about it and showing you the whole process I went through to create it. So anyways, this is my sneak peek, and by the time it comes out, maybe you'll remember me holding this up for 30 seconds on this video. Maybe you won't, and it'll be a big surprise again. So when I went to tape the Q&A, for some reason the audio was all sort of messed up, so I'm retaping it. That's why I'm changed. I have different clothing on. It's different day. So I have the one Q&A is about lost motivation. Now these Q&As are about how I personally deal with these things. It is not a question. It's like, how would I suggest you deal with it? This is a question that you all gave to how do I personally deal with lost motivation. So Liz wanted to know if I lost my sojo. Carol, do I ever get up and want to go work in the yard? How do I stay motivated? By Jeanette. Isabel, do I push things off I don't want to do? Deanna, how do you keep inspired every day? She loses her motivation. So first of all, remember that I don't, that this is my job. So I'm not doing it just as a hobby. If it were my hobby, you wouldn't be watching these videos with me, right? So how I personally deal with things that are my job is a much different thing than how you would deal with your hobby. So as a job, just like when you have a job, if you're not motivated to go to work, if you are wanting to do something else besides going to your job that pays your bills, what do? You basically put on your pants, get in the car, you go to work. You go sign on the computer, whatever your job entails. You go to the retail store and you start greeting customers. It's a job for me. So for me, of course, I have days that I don't feel like doing it. And this is why, you know, my schedule is a little bit lighter now. I don't do as many videos. I have 3 videos a week normally, sometimes less, like this month. That's what I've kind of moved my schedule to, so that I have time to do other things besides my job of creating videos to hang out with you, and so for work to create the videos. I mean, so everything I do is much different than how you do your hobby. If you want to start a conversation of ways that you can keep yourself motivated, that's like a whole different topic. And I don't need to do that because mine is all kind of tied into my work right now. So I just wanted to touch base on that because I think you can't compare how anybody on YouTube or anybody who's a designer or works for a fabric company or any of the people in the industry, you can't compare what they do as their job to what you do as a hobby for motivating yourself. Now, if you want to ask that other type of question, the community, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan over at Facebook is an excellent place to go, and loads of people there have been in your spot where you might feel overwhelmed or you don't feel like doing your sewing, and they can give you ideas on how they deal with it. Okay, so that was one of the questions. There's a bunch still of questions. I want to keep sort of trickling them in and answer them for you because these were like the not fun questions. I did all the fun ones already. These were all like more serious questions. And so there you go. So it's my job, and I just put on my pants and I get to work when I have to do it. Okay. I hope you will go out and pick up some things, maybe one of these t-shirts, maybe one of these awesome fabric curator thermoses. Yeah, they're cool, you know, cups. Yeah, they're so cool. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.